Hello and welcome to the last episode of Year 1. Here we meet Celso, a guy whose name is one letter short from being the Spanish word for jealous. And he's chasing his wife across the underworld just like Maddie, only Celso is pretending to love his wife while doing so. This should serve as a warning to Manny, but he carries on regardless because Salvador Limones is a real sucker for a good love story. They should just own up to their mistakes instead of doubling down. And speaking of which, on closer observation, there really is no fence that Manny had to climb over to fall into the ocean. That really could have been an honest mistake all along. Surprise, surprise, this cactus is a Lotería card. Here it only means a place where you go to eat. But shortly it's going to gain more meanings. A cactus is prickly, it's lonely. It only gets visitors when somebody wants something. It's kinda hard to make out what's written on these from out here. The save game screen shows that what's written is rub-a-mat. But really, it's an automat. An automat is the future, as envisioned 100 years ago in the past, where coin-operated vending machines have made humans obsolete. This one is based on a photograph of a Horn and Hardart, New York City automat. In the picture, there's a guy in a suit standing about here. I think Manny should go take his place, just to be traditional.
All these doors have numbers and pictures of food on them. What's number 22?
Lengua.
Wow. It's been a long time since I had a tongue.
Fun fact, Russians like me also eat tongue, not just Mexicans. Funner fact, if you're an American, chances are you've eaten tongue in your hot dogs. Look at the ingredients next time.
Hey, how do you open these?
You wait till we start serving. That's how.
Closing a vending machine makes as much sense as closing a self-checkout lane in a busy supermarket. This just goes to show you that the more things change, the more they stay the same. Now down here, you may wonder why this ketchup is even here. You can't pick it up, it's not a puzzle. It doesn't even do anything as exposition or contribute to story development.
I hate the way mustard spouts get all crusted like that. The glove compartment on the bone wagon is full of tiny ketchup and mustard packets, not to mention soy sauce. I really don't need any more.
So the reason this object is here is that there is a ketchup bottle Lotería card.
This guy looks familiar. Mr. Flores, I'm ready
He's
to
a
take
real
you now.
reaper that
Manny
acts and
Calavera.
looks
Is
like a
that you?
phony
Didn't
one.
you used to be taller?
So how did Celso walk here before Manny drove here?
What are you doing here?
Well, if you must know, it's about my wife. I got word that she passed away not long after I, and that she too was crossing the land of the dead on foot. It is said that all lost souls come to Rubacava, so I came here to wait for her.
This is obviously an old-fashioned, boring, garden variety plot hole. But I am gonna pigeon-splain it anyway. See, everybody has 4 years to get to the other side. No matter what pace they walk at, and they sometimes stop in different areas, they seem to all make it there in exactly 4 years. So there's some sort of time distortion going at the very least.
I'm looking for a woman named Mercedes Colomar.
Well, no one's come through town by that name, and you can take it from me. I, too, am looking for someone, so I watch the comings and goings around here very carefully.
For 24 hours? Or has he been here longer than that? Maybe this is the previous Celso from Manny's prior time loop.
How do you know your wife hasn't gone ahead of you?
Oh, Manny, if she had arrived here first, surely she would have waited for me.
You must love her very much, Celso.
Yes, this is true. Of course, she also has all of my money.
We just found out that Celso is only pretending to be in love with the woman whom he's chasing across the underworld. The only truly happy love stories in this game are with Gladys and the Bone Wagon and possibly Velasco and his ship.
So, know a good place to stay in town?
What's your price range?
Somewhere around the high end of nothing.
Then maybe, young man, it's time you started thinking about a job.
Mentioning work to Manny is kinda like telling Rufus that something is dangerous.
Can you get me a job here?
Have any skills?
Sales?
Well, that does qualify you for a certain position, but we only have one mop.
I know that he's thinking, challenge accepted.
I'm here to reclaim that walking stick.
I broke it over the head of some hideous monsters in the forest.
That's right. You beat spiders with a stick. Even Celso knows this.
I'll help you find your wife. What does she look like?
Oh, here. I got this from the DOD and made copies to hand out. Isn't she something?
She must have been beautiful with skin.
Weren't we all? I'm sorry, Manuel. I've got to get this place ready to open.
Right. I'll let you know if I see your wife.
She'll be the one asking for her beloved Celso.
So she can eagerly share her money. That must be it.
Maybe I should place a personal ad.
I tried it, believe me. It attracts the wrong kind of women.
He's only been here 24 hours, and he's already managed to attract the wrong kind of woman by placing personal ads.
Maybe I should place a personal
You
ad.
should, Manny. You really should find somebody that can accept you for who you really are. I do notice that the fence here is in pretty bad shape. There are whole sections missing. Somebody can definitely fall through that. So the fall could have been an honest accident. And come to think of it, the excellently thought through sewer system doesn't actually connect to anything up here, at least not that I can see.
I think I'll wait for the fog to clear before I try exploring town again.
So it's either a real accident, or he convinced himself it was an accident, or he's lying to you, the player, which he does once at the end of the game.
Celso's wife. Actually, I don't think skin would help.
Now I think he says that about all the girls. There's only one thing you can do here, but if you were playing this, you would spend some time trying to figure out what that one thing was. He's so used to hiding what he's after that it doesn't even occur to him to be honest about the fact that he's looking into this for somebody else.
Ever seen this woman?
Oh, if this is the woman you're looking for, take my advice. Forget about her. She sailed out of here weeks ago in a cozy portside cabin built for two, and she wasn't alone.
I wonder if she found that guy through a personals
How do you
ad.
know she sailed out of here? I don't believe it.
It's a tough break, Junior, but you gotta face it. Here, look it up in my port log if you want it in writing. 6 weeks ago on a Tuesday. Ticket for two, paid in full.
The important question is, was she wearing her kitty hat?
Tuesday is Kitty Hat Day.
I cracked the champagne on the bow myself.
Hey, Manny, we were in the middle of a conversation here.
Hey, okay.
Look, I know how you feel, son. Once I lost a very special lady myself. I waved to her from the docks as she sailed out of port, and I never saw her again.
What was her name?
The SS La Mancha was her name, but don't make me talk about her, because I just can't do it.
There is actually a term to describe guys like this. Mechanophiliacs are people who are attracted to ships or cars or other kinds of machinery. Although Gladys is really more mechano-flexible, he also likes women.
Hey, I never said I was too fat for the ladies, just the cars. The ladies like me just fine.
Velasco's logbook says Celso's wife took a bunk with a hunk.
I'm gonna cover that in year 3, I think. For now, I'll just say that this game is sometimes just a jazz version of a really repressed Rocky Horror. Still rubbing the mat in the rubber mat.
Are you sure I can't sleep in the back?
There's only room for one.
Did he really just do that?
I don't really want to do that.
Not his type, I guess.
Celso, your wife sailed out of here 2 months ago with another man. It's all in there.
Oh, Manny, is there a greater constant in nature than the treachery of women?
Says the expert in personal ads. What you've got is Hector Lamans, Domino, and Copal all conspiring to take this guy's golden ticket away from him. But of course, it's women who are the real bad guys for beating him to the punch when it comes to personal ads. And that's probably why his name is based on the Spanish word for jealous. He's stalking a woman across the underworld for personal gain while hating women in general. Nothing at all like Manny here, huh?
I'm going after her. You take over my job here. This mop at least will never let you down. That compass in the handle will sure come in handy too.
Looks like he's got a job, rubbing a mat in the rubber mat. And then there's that fly on the wall, with soup in its head. Instead of flies in the soup, this place has soup in its fly. When you see what Manny does with the place for the first time, you just go, wow! There's lights, there's music. You go, this guy is not a loser. And that's a great way to react to this scene. But under this glittering facade, there are so many other things going on, and I will go through them in my next series of videos. It occurs to me, as happy as we are to see Manny succeed as a criminal with rigged tables and a rigged system, we would not be happy to see him simply take Domino or Copal's place, because that kind of rigged system is so odious that all we want to see is to see it dismantled, to see justice brought for the little guy. And that's a pretty damning critique of the kind of systemic injustice that Domino and Copal represent. But that's not really what my videos are about. My videos are really about, look at these hidden object Lotería cards. I found them and nobody did for 20 years. Ha! I'm going to keep finding Lotería cards even though there are fewer of them going forward. The ones that we do find are rather significant. They change how you see certain scenes in the game. Confirm your suspicions in some ways, maybe. So, hoping to see you next time, where we go into a lot of detail with Casablanca and how Manny uses it, which is different from the original. And I'm gonna finally out Manny 3/4 of the way through, because he's just asking for it at that point. So please give me all those likes and subscriptions and things like that, because if I get enough of them, when I'm done with this game, I'm gonna do Deponia.